You want to know the most painful truth most men learn too late? She doesn't miss you when you chase her. She misses you when you disappear. When you finally stop trying to prove your worth, stop explaining yourself, stop begging for her attention, that's when her world starts to shake. When your silence becomes louder than your words, she starts to feel it. Every moment she ignored you, every text she left unread, every time she thought you'd always be there, starts to echo in her mind. Because when a man truly lets go, when he walks away with dignity and purpose, he becomes unforgettable. Welcome to the Stoic Guy, the home of masculine clarity, emotional discipline, and the truth no one else will tell you. If you're tired of being overlooked, tired of overgiving, tired of being the man who gets nothing back for his loyalty, this channel is where you take your power back. So stay with me until the end of this video, because I promise you, what I'm about to show you could flip your entire mindset. And if you're serious about becoming a man who never chases, a man who commands respect without saying a word, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's begin. See, detachment isn't about pretending not to care. It's about caring so much about yourself that you stop tolerating what doesn't serve you. Most men get this wrong. They think of walking away means losing her. But walking away is how you gain yourself back. You've spent so much time trying to prove your value to someone who never earned it. You've been emotionally negotiating with someone who stopped listening long ago. But when you finally stop, when you cut the rope that's been holding you back, that's when she notices. Because your silence forces her to face something she never had to before. A world without your presence. And here's the paradox. The more you chase her, the less she values you. But the moment you detach, the moment you step back into your frame, she begins to question everything. She replays the memories. She starts stalking your stories. She wonders if you've met someone else. That's the power of masculine stillness. It creates curiosity, and curiosity fuels attraction. Let's break this down. There are 3 phases to why she starts missing you the moment you let go. First, the silence. Second, the shift. And third, the realization. Phase 1, the silence. When you stop reacting, when you stop feeding her ego with attention, it shocks her system. Most women are used to validation on demand. They live in a world where men line up to prove themselves, to text first, to call, to apologize for things they didn't even do. But when she meets a man who doesn't play that game, who goes silent and stays silent, she starts to panic quietly. That silence becomes her mirror. It reflects her own behavior back at her. Suddenly, every time she opens Instagram and doesn't see your name in her story views, it hits her. Every night she lies in bed scrolling through old messages, trying to feel that control again. She feels your absence like a ghost. If this is hitting you, hit the like button, drop any emoji in the comments, and hit subscribe right now. The Stoic path isn't about revenge. It's about evolution. And if you've stayed this long, you're already walking it. Keep listening, because what comes next is the moment every man reaches. The realization that changes everything. Phase 2, the shift. When you finally pull away, something subtle but powerful begins to shift. Not in her world first, but in yours. You start to feel lighter. The noise dies down. You begin to see just how much energy you were pouring into someone who only gave breadcrumbs in return. At first, it feels strange, like silence after a storm. But then it becomes addictive. That calm, that focus, That peace you feel when you stop trying to control another person's opinion of you. That's freedom. Women can sense that change instantly. The same man who used to wait on her text is suddenly too busy to notice she posted a new story. The same guy who once explained every move now answers in calm, measured sentences, if he replies at all. The tone of his voice changes. It carries certainty instead of confusion. That energy difference is magnetic. She doesn't know what happened, only that she's no longer the center of your world. At first, she'll test it. She'll post something designed to trigger you. Maybe a photo that screams, "I'm fine without you." She'll drop a casual text to see if you'll still jump at her call. But you won't. You've learned the power of stillness. You're too focused on your own mission now. Your training, your craft, your discipline. Every hour you invest in yourself becomes another reminder that her approval was never your fuel, and that realization rewires you from the inside out. Men who master the shift become unrecognizable. Friends start noticing the difference. Your walk changes, your posture, your eyes, your tone. Everything sharpens. You no longer speak to be understood. You speak because you have something worth saying. That's what draws people in, especially women. Detachment isn't indifference. It's power without permission. It's peace earned through restraint. When she finally feels the shift, confusion hits. She'll start replaying the last conversation, trying to find where she lost control. She'll tell herself you're acting strange, colder, distant. But deep down, she knows. It's not distance, it's direction. You're no longer orbiting her, you're moving forward. And nothing triggers regret faster than realizing the man who once waited for you has learned to walk past you. If you're still watching right now, I'm genuinely shocked. And with that being said, I want to pause and acknowledge you. Most people click off before they ever face their own patterns. But you didn't. You've stayed, listened, and reflected. That's what separates ordinary men from stoic men. Awareness. You're not just watching another video. You're watching yourself evolve in real time. So before we go deeper, hit subscribe to join the brotherhood we're building here. Men who don't chase validation, they master themselves. And if you've felt that shift already, that calm silence that makes her wonder, drop any word in the comments right now. It tells me you're part of the few who finish what they start. Stay with me until the end, because the next part isn't just a lesson. It's the truth that every man eventually learns, the one that changes how you see women, love, and yourself forever. Phase 3, the realization when she finally misses you. It happens quietly. No announcement, no dramatic confession, just silence, followed by curiosity. Then curiosity turns into anxiety, because one day she wakes up, scrolls through her phone, and realizes there's no message from you, no story to check, no updates to spy on. And for the first time, she feels what you once felt, uncertainty. That's the moment it clicks for her. Not when you begged, not when you texted, not when you tried to make her see your value. It's when you stopped. The human mind craves what it loses, and nothing haunts a woman more than a man she couldn't break. When you detach, you remove her ability to define you. She starts to remember the moments you were calm when she was emotional, collected when she was chaotic, patient when she was testing. She remembers how your silence made her overthink, how your discipline forced her to look at herself. That's when she begins to feel something new, not control, not pride, but regret. The kind of regret that creeps in late at night when she replays your voice in her head. She won't tell anyone, but she'll think about you when a new man disappoints her, when he's too available, too emotional, too eager. Because whether she admits it or not, your absence taught her what presence really meant. You see, every man has two choices after rejection: chase validation or build value. The weak chase, the strong rebuild. And when you rebuild, the world starts to notice. Your energy shifts, your focus sharpens, and your presence starts to speak for itself. The same people who doubted you will wonder how you did it. And that woman who thought she could do better? She'll start to watch you like she's studying an old photograph, one she threw away too early. Here's the irony. She'll never reach out the way you did. Ego won't let her. But her silence will become your proof. You'll feel it when she views your story within seconds. You'll sense it when mutual friends mention she's been asking about you. That's when you'll smile. Not out of spite, but out of strength. Because you'll realize that the man she misses now isn't even the man she left. He's the upgraded version, calm, grounded, untouchable. If you've made it this far, congratulations, brother. I'm here to tell you, you're already different from most. You don't just watch. You know that. You're a winner, an achiever, a master, a conqueror, a man of wisdom, and that says a lot. Especially in these modern times, where most people are so lost with reality. And if you're ready to keep evolving, hit subscribe right now and stay until the end. Because what I'm about to tell you next might just be the closure you've been searching for. The final lesson: detachment is rebirth. Detachment isn't losing her. It's rediscovering yourself. It's the moment when the noise fades, when the constant need for validation dissolves, and you finally remember who you were before you tried to prove anything to anyone. Detachment is the quiet realization that peace was never something she could give you. It was something you had to reclaim. It's not bitterness. It's not revenge. It's clarity. You stop replaying what went wrong. You stop chasing closure. And you start understanding that walking away is not weakness. It's wisdom. You begin to see the heartbreak not as a punishment, but as the catalyst that forced you to evolve. You don't hate her for what happened. You thank her. Because without that disappointment, without that silence, without that lesson in loss, you never would have met the man you're becoming right now. The man who wakes up early. The man who holds his frame. The man who no longer breaks at the first sign of rejection. Every Stoic understood this truth, that pain refines a man the way fire refines gold. It burns away illusion. It melts the ego. It exposes the core of who you are when the world strips away everything you clung to. Pain teaches you what peace truly feels like. Because only after chaos can you recognize stillness. The moment you stop chasing temporary affection, you start attracting lasting respect. The moment you stop trying to impress her, you begin to impress yourself. True strength isn't loud. It doesn't need to announce itself or prove its worth. True strength is quiet, grounded, and unshakable. The kind that walks through storms without losing its calm, that faces rejection without losing its sense of worth. So let her wonder. Let her scroll. Let her regret. Don't run back to show her what she lost. Don't post to prove your worth. Just keep moving, forward, steady, silent. The man who understands detachment doesn't seek to be missed. He becomes impossible to replace. He's the man whose absence echoes louder than his presence ever did. The man who turns pain into power, heartbreak into hunger, and silence into self-respect. That's what detachment really is. Not a withdrawal, but a rebirth. The death of the weak version of you, and the rise of a man who no longer chases, no longer explains, no longer doubts. You've become the storm she never saw coming, and that's what makes you unforgettable. If you're still here right now, I've got something special for you. Most people never make it this far, but you did. And that says something about the kind of man you are. So here's a story, a true one, that'll stay with you long after this video ends. So this is how the story goes. There was a man who once loved a woman so deeply that he built his entire world around her. He was the kind of man who texted first, who always made time, who gave without keeping score. He thought love meant proving his worth, showing her every day that she was his everything. But one morning she stopped replying. The warmth was gone, the energy faded, and slowly he realized she didn't leave him that day. She left long before the moment he started loving her more than himself. At first, he broke. He blamed himself. He tried to fix what couldn't be fixed. But then came the silence. Long, heavy, unforgiving silence. And in that silence, something changed. He stopped waiting for her messages and started sending messages to his future. He returned to the gym. He rebuilt his confidence. He focused on his craft. He learned to walk alone, not in sadness, but in strength. Months later, she saw him again. Not through a text or a call, but through the energy he carried. Calm, grounded, stoic. The same man she once dismissed now stood taller, quieter, untouchable. She tried to reconnect, liked an old photo, sent a small, "Hey, stranger." But by then, he had outgrown the version of himself that needed her. He replied with peace, not pride, and that's when she felt the thing she never expected. Regret. She realized that the man she left behind was gone forever. What remained was a version she could admire, but never have again. And that's what I want you to remember, brother. That one day, your silence will speak louder than any apology you never received. Your growth will be the revenge. Your peace will be the message. So if you've made it this far, thank you. You're not here by accident. You stayed because deep down, you know this message was meant for you. Now, if you're ready to keep walking this path, the hard one, the real one, hit subscribe right now and stay until the next lesson. Because the world doesn't need more men who chase. It needs more men who build. And if that's you, welcome home. If you're still here, thank you, truly. You've done what most men won't. You stayed until the end, you faced yourself, and you listened when your ego wanted to click away. That's rare. That's strength. Every second you spend here isn't just entertainment. It's transformation. You're sharpening your mind, rebuilding your peace, and becoming the kind of man who no longer needs validation to know his worth. So before you go, remember this. This journey doesn't end when the video fades to black. It continues with every choice you make, every moment you choose discipline over distraction, silence over reaction, peace over chaos. Subscribe to the Stoic Guy right now if you're walking that path, the real path, the hard one, the one that few ever finish. Stay for the next video because the man you're becoming deserves to hear it. Until then, keep thinking, keep walking, and above all, stay stoic, stay sharp.